Hey everyone. So part of the 2025 project 52 that I am bringing to the network has to do with getting creative, editing in new ways, and one of my favorite ways to edit is with light overlays. Now I make these in many different ways, but I wanted to share one with you in case you wanted to play with it to kind of get an idea of what the Project 52 is going to be like. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing this every week because it takes a considerable amount of effort to make them. But when I make them for myself to use on my images, I will share them. And I made one today for this image, and so I thought I'd just share it to give you a preview of how to use them so that you can jump in with your own images. So this is a beautiful cherry blossom picture that I took with a really shallow depth of field lens, a 400 millimeter 2.8 of cherry blossoms last spring. And I wanted to add a little bit of light. This was kind of foggy and light and airy, but there's just some draw I have when it comes to backlit light. I just love it, and I'm not adverse to putting fake light in. It's just fun. So this is Photopea, and if you don't have Photoshop, you can use this. It's free. You just go to photopea.com and you can bring in an image, and then it works with layers just like Photoshop. There aren't as many correlations to Photoshop as I would like, but if you're just doing basic edits, you can do them here for free. So I will show you the light overlay by itself. So this is a transparent background, and I just noticed that I did not blur out that, but that's probably not a problem because when we use a blending mode, it is going to disappear for the most part, but we can always fix it here in a minute. So when I add it to the picture, it's quite apparent, and you see that this is showing, but it's a nice soft overlay. You can go in and you can change a size. So you can go to edit, free transform, and you can pull this out and change the shape of it and the size of it like that, and move it around wherever you want the light to come from. I usually try to have it come from the direction of the light. I have no idea where the light was coming from because it was an overcast morning, but we're pretending here, right? This is pretend. We're having fun. And then we're going to want to change the blend mode. So I'm going to go to overlay, and overlay gives this kind of golden effect without it being too much. You can try different blend modes depending on your picture. Multiply is going to be much darker, probably not ideal for this kind of a thing. Lighten might be an effect that might work in some situations. Overlay is the one that I would choose. Soft light is a much more subtle effect, but you can still see it adds a little bit of golden light. And you can just play with the different ones. Photoshop is a bit more refined than this program, but it does work. So I'm going to stick with overlay. Again, go to edit, free transform, and you can move it around. And I actually think I have the move tool activated here, so you can just move it all over to see where it fits. And I'm sorry, my phone is dinging. I don't know, is it just me, or are you getting like 8 billion messages and emails? I don't know what it is with, maybe it's the Black Friday, Thanksgiving, moving into Christmas season, but my inbox is just absolutely insane. I get text messages of people selling me stuff 100 times a day. And if you know how to clean all that up and get rid of it all, I would love to know. But anyway, you can move this around and then leave it as is, or you can lower the opacity to make it more subtle. But I'd love to see what you create with this. You can do it lots of different ways. It's going to look different on darker images. And if you want to modify it, so let's go back to normal and take off the background here. If I wanted to change like this little edge here that I have going on, you can take it and make a mask, and then take a brush, and I'm going to just use an opacity of like 20 some percent there. Make my brush bigger. And then I want to make sure that I have the black selected over here in the color swatch, because that's the opposite. And then I can just kind of paint on the picture here to make it go away. And I just have it at 23%, so it does take quite a bit of scrubbing, but I wanted it to be subtle. I didn't want it to just be very obvious. So bring back my picture, go back to overlay, and then use the move tool to move it around and kind of put it in there. And that's where I would leave it. I might adjust the size or what have you, but your mileage may vary. This may not be your cup of tea, but if you want to play with it, have fun, and share your images below. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.